That looks like that might be some of the last Georgia reps we had in doubles, so it's probably going to be up to some of the Southeast to hold ground here at MomoCon as we are getting into this one.
And here we go, game one between Light and Knite versus Juanpi and MuteAce, and already you can see Youngling sharking with some of those quick aerials, and that disjoint on the sword is a pretty nice benefit, especially against someone like me Brawler.
Absolutely, dude. As again, you can see trying to control so much of the stage here. Oh, combo almost getting started out there, but it's had a little bit of team action coming out from the side of Light and Knite.
Ooh. And it's kind of interesting to see how Knite is playing this pretty reserved, just letting Light go in there and cause chaos with the Yoshi, which is exactly what you would expect. The double jump armor, the nairs, all those strong aerials, but also a lot of Yoshi's tilts just combo into Youngling's strong hits.
Yeah, they really do. As getting back to the stage there, Knite able to get back. Who's going to take the first stock here? It looks like we've got Juanpi and MuteAce a little bit more of the control. And it looks like MuteAce here doing some work on this Peach. You know, he's played it for quite a while, but going to be taking the stocks is his partner in Juanpi.
And the bigger thing as well is just that, oh, what a spike!
Just forehead that Peach down, son. Good Lord.
This is one of the dangerous portions with Youngling, is if you let that up B rip unsafely, you are in such a vulnerable position. And I do like how you can see that Knite is playing out that corner pressure, but he has to be a little bit more reserved, especially at that high percent against such strong back airs from Peach.
He also has the extra stock, too, so that's some of the game plan when it comes to doubles as it does get taken out is the guy with the extra stocks a lot of times, even if they're high percent, you want them avoiding the action, protecting that stock in case you do need to stock share later, because one team is almost certainly going to have to at some point.
Yeah, you're going to have to do some type of, you're going to be in some situation inevitably where you might have to worry about a stock sharing situation, but what a good follow-up from Light there off of that Youngling setup. Just immediate up air to claim the stock, and this Yoshi is putting in a ton of kill pressure for this team.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, man, that is insane. A lot is just throwing out the smash attacks and hard hits, and they're connecting is to the last stocks of Juanpi and MuteAce, but a lot of percent here on Knite and Light. Grab's going to come out. Great combo trying to get it up, but this is what you need to do in doubles. Great stuff from MuteAce, not only interrupting it, but taking a stock himself.
And also taking out the Yoshi, which, like we said, you look at how they're playing right now. Light is a lot of that kill pressure. Knite is doing a good job setting it up, but Light is running in and closing the stocks with those heavy hitting aerials like the up air, the back air. So getting rid of Light should absolutely be the first priority for Juanpi and MuteAce.
Absolutely. Here's looks like it's going to take one. Yoshi off stage, does get back to it. Great movement there from Light. The down smash, looking to catch them off with that second hit of it, but it doesn't quite do it. As a combo coming out, really clean stuff there from MuteAce and Juanpi.
And oh no, Light losing that last stock, and like you said, that first stock where Knite might have lost, it could have been the difference maker there. No stock share available and pinned in the corner.
But this is one of the most winnable 1v2s I have seen. High percentage for each of them. One straight hit, a down air probably gets the stock. Now it is Youngling, as you well know, not the character with the most skill power in the world, but you get one of these off and you're in a good spot.
All Knite needs to do is find the right opening, and whether it's using projectiles or aerials to create it, there's a couple ways that they can find that opening, but the hardest part is just making it through that pressure off stage. When you're trapped in this type of situation as Youngling, you feel like there's no way out. The counter takes the stock, and that seals their fate in game one.
Yeah, I really thought Knite had a chance to kind of be over the top of that there to avoid the Toad counter, but just catches the top of that Toad head, or at least some of that animation from it, and it does get to the stock. But you know, again, this is how chaotic doubles is, because we look at this and we can see Knite and Light look like they were in control, I thought, all the way up to the end, and then all of a sudden, boom, couple stocks are gone. Now you're in a 2v1 situation. And that, I mean, like we said, it was one of the most winnable 2v1s, but it's still a 2v1. It's not easy to win.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing again, at this point in the bracket, every player has been in these situations where they know exactly what to do to close it out. So against someone like MuteAce and Juanpi, you have to be on your A game. I'm interested to see what adaptations that Knite and Light are able to make. just because you're keeping the stage the exact same, and right now it looks a little bit of the same. Yoshi trying to create pressure and create disjointed situations where Knite can fight one-on-one.
What they do here is Knite. Oh, yeah. See, that's a good up B at a shield situation right there. You got either one of them on each side of you. Create a little bit of space. Get your partner back involved in it. As here we go, the combos. And that's one thing that I have loved to see, man, is Smash in general. Not just Ultimate, but the games have gotten older and people have gotten better at them. At this high of a level, you rarely see a grab not converted on by your partner.
Oh, that is a huge portion of doubles, and especially with Young Link, where you have so many good setup throws, like your down throw and your up throw, for example. There's a lot of ways that you can find kill pressure. And look at the confidence from Knite, letting the forward smash rip from Light and making it back to the stage and still holding on to that stock. MuteAce now in a little bit of a tight situation at the ledge.
Oh no, he killed him! Oh, the Ex's partner, he does survive though. But man, I thought that Knite was done there. Instead, he does make it back to the stage, keeping his percent high, but staying alive. Both of these guys is Juanpi's in a little bit of a difficult situation here, especially on the brawler at the ledge. Forward air, gonna do a lot, but instead it's gonna be MuteAce taking the stock himself.
And looking at Light, being the heavier player on Yoshi, holding on to that stock and being able to keep the damage high, but keeping the rage, keeping that stock alive.
Yeah.
Light is just putting in a ton of work in getting these stocks cleaned out, and I think this could be that win condition for there to succeed.
Yeah, and Light, again, making that adjustment that we talked about. Doesn't get himself in a high percentage situation in the middle of the action. Holding onto that stock as long as possible, staying away, let Knite do the work, let him run it down. You've got the extra stock, you can steal it if you need to. But stay alive here as finally it does get taken, but did a really good job there. But that's the difficulty of it, as we go from a one-stock lead to a one-stock deficit because a little bit of cheese on the side.
Yeah, and that's, I kind of hinted at that earlier with Young Link, where if you're off stage against Peach, it feels like a really bad situation. There's turn-ups, there's counter, there's so many ways for MuteAce to take advantage of Young Link's recovery. And it's so interesting to see how Light and Knite are going to try and take advantage of that and make it a little bit better, but still holding down the center.
Absolutely here. I think this is going to come down to who can get this next stock, who can get themselves in that one stock lead situation, make them share stock first and or lose their extra stock first. Going to be so crucial right here. As decent spot for Juanpi and MuteAce. They've got Knite at least in a juggle situation, trying to find the ground. Light again, holding on to this extra stock as best he can. MuteAce doing the same thing for his side.
Yeah, and Knite now doing a good job trying to find that stock, but the forward air isn't enough just yet. Isn't able to follow up on that bomb conversion, but the down air absolutely has the kill power to take out MuteAce and Juanpi as well.
Oh, that's huge. Way to time that too, as the share stock comes through to guarantee that it's going to be a 1v1 and it's going to be MuteAce in it. I like that. As now, if you're Light, I think you just stay away. You know, if he comes near you, you attack, but instead you keep that extra stock as best you can. Let Knite have a chance to share stock it if he needs. If you end up dying, it is what it is.
And to your point about staying away, abuse your aerials as Yoshi.
Right.
You have a disjoint with the tail, you have back air, you have forward air. Light is doing a good job just continuing that pressure from a safe distance and harassing MuteAce because he knows he can with his recovery.
Absolutely. Down B's to the ledge here. Trying to get a little bit more, and you trade one stock for another one, as it looks like, I think Light might have actually lived there with Yoshi's weight to the left side. But we've evened this thing up. Light and Knite versus Juanpi and MuteAce going to a game 3.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what you need to do if you are in the position of Light and Knite. You have to make sure that you are able to contain your stocks, hold on to any lead you can, but more importantly, make sure that Light stays alive and doesn't get taken advantage of.
Absolutely, dude. As we're coming in here to the last game of this set, I wonder where we're going to go, man. We've seen it be consistent the first couple of games. I wonder if we're going to mix up the stage here. Maybe mix up some picks. I mean, I've seen all of these players play different characters than the ones that they're playing right now.
Every field is also every game on the field is a double-edged sword. For instance, if you go to Battlefield, Yoshi can carry you very, very easily on Battlefield. The setups are incredibly easy for Young Link and Yoshi. Final Destination, it's a little more difficult for both players, but it also leaves you just as vulnerable on that stage with no platforms. You open it up, you elongate the game plan. Or the stage might not even be a problem at all. We saw that Light and Knite didn't think a stage was the issue. Just run it back. Let's take him on again. But I don't think that'll be the same answer from Juanpi and MuteAce, and going to a smaller version of Pokemon Stadium 2 in small battlefield.
Okay. All right. I'm interested to see. I mean, you don't have the top platform, right? But like you said, smaller. It is about battlefield size. It's a small battlefield, right? So potentially some ability for Yoshi to at least get the first part of those combos, to get that first part of that extension going here with a little bit more condensed stage. But at the same time, I think that if you're a Mii Brawler player, you want a smaller stage anyway. Right? You want to be able to get in their face, especially a couple of characters. Yoshi doesn't really have, I mean, the egg's not something I think you take into account a lot, but Young Link definitely has projectiles that you need to avoid.
Yeah, and I like the way that they're playing this right now, where they're immediately trying to take out Light, knowing that Knite has to basically rely on Light to get these kills.
Yeah.
But it's a good strategy thus far. I like how Juanpi is playing this out, basically aggressively naring in place, daring Knite to try and attack them.
Yeah, they're playing this like it's like a strategy game. You got your frontliner in Yoshi, and you got your back line in terms of Young Link, and it's working out right now here in Game 3.
And already getting that first stock onto MuteAce is big, because that is the biggest threat to Knight's safety right now. But Juanpi doing everything they can, taking that rage and getting the hits on that they can. High damage onto Light, and they have to hold on to the stock. We already mentioned that is the key to victory for the blue team.
Sure is. Oh man, great combo right there. That up B does get the stock off of Light, evens it up stock-wise. Percentage about even across the board.
Yeah, it's about even, but again,
that's big.
It takes 2 up airs from Light to equalize that stock. And now a lead in favor of the blue team. Knite has to hold on to the stock and play safe, especially with 130 on the board.
He sure does here. They're just ignoring MuteAce. I think that they're like, let's get this Mii Brawler down. Let's get them as much damage on him as we can and see where we can go. Juanpi has been the preferred target, it seems like, for the side of Light Knite.
Yeah, and that could be just a mid-game adaptation where they're saying exactly what you said. We can probably win the 2v1 versus the Peach, but I'm much more afraid of the Mii Brawler, and good lord, that back air packs a punch.
And Mii Brawler is one of those characters that like just has that weird KO potential from almost any percentage, right? A lot of heavy knockback moves, some solid combos, some setups, some weird things that he can do. So I like that focus, but a great adaptation there. Light finds the Peach off to the side, air dodges back to the stage, trying to find his way back. And 4 to 3 on total stock count, slight lead for Knite and Light.
But even then, it doesn't. The lead feels much larger than it appears with the high percentage, because Yoshi with Rage is just a stock trading machine. As I say that, stock is traded in the favor of Juanpi there.
Yeah. And now looking like it might be a little bit red side favored, especially if they could get this Young Link down, but doing a great job of dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging the 5Ds at dodgeball coming out here from Knite.
Oh, what a great back throw follow-up from MuteAce off of Juanpi there. Good bomb use by Knite to try and make it back to the stage, but I feel like that you can't take those down air risks right now, Shope, where you're floating down with down air and floating around off stage. That's a pretty big risk.
No, if you're going to do something like that, you need to have your partner there close enough to hit you with a low knockback move to save you before you get into trouble, right? That's one thing you can definitely do in doubles. But Knite, finally, stock gets taken off of him, but they get it right back on Juanpi. And here we go. Rough situation. MuteAce, very, very high percentage here. Peach, not as heavy as a Yoshi, so a chance to take them. But you can see MuteAce very much playing the safe, trying to stay away, staying in shield like Juanpi. Go out there, do some chaos, get a stock instead. He's going to get a little bit of friendly fire here. MuteAce almost loses his stock to his teammate.
And once again, just basically waiting for that chance to get back to the stage. 130 on MuteAce. And Knite knows that there's blood in the water. The forward air closes out the stock, and it's a 2v1 in favor of Light and Knite.
Yeah, Juanpi, I think, really needs to get to Light here. If he can get that stock, he might have a chance, but it is going to be a tough one as Light is going to stay away. Let his partner with less percentage do what he can, trying to continue to sandwich him here. Does hit him with a flame arrow, looking for some more, but Juanpi is doing a really good job of just kind of dipping in and out of these hitboxes.
Yeah, doing a really good job of dipping in and out of that effective threat range. Even if Young Link has a sword, it's more like a pocket knife, but Juanpi has to be very, very precise in their movement to avoid all of this pressure. And the damage is racking up little by little.
Yes. Getting it very even across the board, but eventually that forehead comes through. Yoshi forward air takes it from mid-stage in a really, really close set. I don't think that I had any clue who was going to take that one when it came down to the end. I really thought that there was a decent chance for Juanpi to clutch that on that Mii Brawler, and it looked like he might do it for a second, but eventually one of those straight hitboxes is going to take your stock.
Yeah, and it was all set up off of that grab that looked initially pretty strong. You got Knite off stage, but Light immediately comes in, clutches up with that Yoshi fair. We already saw how strong it is, whether it's with the spike hitbox or the launching side of it.